Yeah, big time. This is the other word. There's a guy who's doing a tour of duty right now. He's in the branch in the military somewhere. He just got a wife from his letter, a letter from his wife, and the letter says, "It's your son's birthday, and your son's getting old, and I don't know how much longer I can be faithful to you." This is the test. This is one of the greatest tests, but it's really, you know, a preliminary test because there's so many tests that you go through when you devote your life to being something like a crusader, right? So whether you're in the military or whether you're a missionary somewhere or whether, whatever you do, let's say, you went somewhere to get a job out of state. Let's say you went to college and you're an out of state college student, right? Your girlfriend could literally be telling you the same thing, okay? And she wants you to come back because your son's birthday or your anniversary or whatever it is, maybe it's a funeral, falls on the day where it's your final exam. And if you go back, that's your final exam. You're not gonna get another chance. And you know who's gonna tell you this story? Your drill instructor in the military and in police academy. And anything that you're ever going to get recruited to, that's going to be a skull and bone type of recruiting process, right? It might be a frat, it might be a sorority, I don't know what it is. But for everybody it's different. But I'm telling you, if you leave on your final exam, you lose your place in the military, you lose your place in police academy, you lose your place in firefighting academy, you lose that wrinkle in time where you have to take that final exam because the next time you try college or the next time you try to be in the military, you might not have that steam to get up that hill because you only get one time in life to be the freight train. That's it. And you gotta, how important is it to you to be that freight? Are you being a freight so you can be a famous freight train? Are you being a freight because you know the kind of leader that you will be? That what you're carrying is for the good, probably not of all humanity because only Jesus does that. But it's going to help your family or your friends or yourself more than if you just go back to blow out the candles on your son's cake and give him a train for his birthday. Or go make love to your wife on a full moon when it's your anniversary. These are sacrifices, man. This isn't, you know what I mean? It's not high school, it's not grade school, it's not the Boy Scouts, it's not the Eagle Scouts. This is it. This is literally as good as it gets. This is that there is no tomorrow type shit. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And some people go through this in their 20s. Some people go through this in their 30s. You know, everybody has a different time where they punch the clock. Where you know what I mean? And this is really what makes people successful. Because they realize, you know, they sacrifice the magic moment for the moment to get that kill shot. You're gonna leave that position that every man on the battlefield died for you to get that position. You got the sweet spot for the kill shot. You're gonna get a Purple Heart. No, you're not, dog. You're not. You're not. You're not even going to be in the history books. No one's going to remember you. You can't miss the sweet shot for the kill shot. You can't. So it really comes down to, it doesn't matter whose birthday it is. It doesn't matter if it's a funeral. It doesn't matter what it is. If you got to remember the movie Saving Private Ryan when, he got a chance to go home because he fulfilled all his obligations in the military. He had to unplug. There is a time to unplug. When you really did all you can do and you beat all you can be, there's no sense in going above and beyond the Call of Duty that high. But if you didn't even do shit and it was your job, this is what your training was all about, to get the sweet spot for the kill shot, you're going to leave whenever you're 2 feet from the podium. The dean is looking at you. He's ready to shake. He's like, here you go, buddy. He has your diploma in his hand. And believe it or not, the devil's going to do this to you. Life is going to try you. And you're going to say, if you don't do it, you're not family. If you don't do it, you're betraying your friends, your girlfriend, your son. It's really that thick. In every man's life, you don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a police officer. You don't have to be nothing. There's always those temptations where you feel like you're climbing the mountain when Jesus was climbing the mountain and the devil was like, just give up. That Garden of the Gethsemane or whatever it is. Moses had a test. All the prophets had a test. Everybody has a test. You don't have to be a prophet, or you don't have to be a Messiah. You don't have to be anybody special. You could be a regular person. And life has those temptations for you. So that's my question. Are you going to turn around when the dean is like right here, like, all right, man, come and get it, man. You worked for it. Here it is. Your moment of proof. You're going to leave that graduation stage. I'm not. Because in my life, there is no sweet spot for the kill shot. In my life, it's a graduation stage. And it took me a long ass time for me to pull my head out of my ass and stop smoking so much weed and stop thinking life was about all this shit that it wasn't about. Like, all that shit is all cool. Music is cool. All this extra shit is cool. But I'll be goddamn if I don't get at least an associate's degree or a bachelor's or something substantial, something tangible, some type of degree that I know, boom, not just that I could show people, that I could get paid for. And I'm not just going for the piece of paper, I'm going for the skill set, something that nobody can take from me. And that's not just rap, right? And it's a heartbreak for some people. It really is. It's a heartbreak for some people. When Jesus was born and started to live his life, he had siblings. He had a cousin. John was his cousin. He might not have had siblings, but he had family members, right? That were like siblings. And a lot of times they wanted him to just live a regular life. Like, why do you have to be here to do all this shit? And people just didn't understand that he was here to save the world, And me and you, we're not here to save the world, but we're here to do some things that it's going to cause us to maybe seem like we're abandoning people and we're turning on people, Either they'll understand or they won't, but this is the way it is. You watch every military film or you talk to every man who's gone on a journey and came back. They'll tell you the same thing. I had to leave my wife, or I had to let my wife leave me. I had to watch everything leave me that wasn't meant to leave me. But I'd be happy to fucking do it again because it caused me to realize that some shit was just not meant for me. That's the only way you'll ever become a leader, is if you're able to take rejection and that shit just go off you like sweat on a fat man's back. Because you're going to see in the end, you're going to outlast the people that told you that what you did was wrong. Or you'll live long enough to be there when they apologize to you and say, you were actually right. Because some will and some won't. Even on their last dying breath, they still won't. But can you accept it in your heart that the decision that you made was right? If you look at the bachelor's degree and you see your name on it, and it glimmers at you the same way it glimmers at me when I look at my certificates, then you will. Because a record deal is fucking great. It really is. But there's nothing like a bachelor's degree with your name on it and the dean's signature right next to it.